I'm going to start the session so long. I think a lot of people cannot join us today due to load shedding. I've had a couple of emails this morning from people saying that they are unable to join us due to load shedding today. That is why I am recording the session so that I can send those attendees that cannot join us this morning due to that just a replay link. I will also send that replay link to everybody that's currently in the session. For if you want to watch it again a little bit later. So yes, my name is Liesel Erasmus. I'm the Creative and Content Director for Upskill Academy. And today we're going to talk about the dimensions of employee wellness. I am going to turn my video off while I'm doing the presentation. This is just so that there is no interruptions and you can listen to the content clearly. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen with you quickly. Okay, can everybody see my screen? You can just say yes in the chat box or... Okay. Okay, so let's start. So the World Health Organization defines wellness as not just being a devoid of any disease or health problem, but as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. But when we think of wellness, two things generally come to our minds: physical and mental health. Besides trying to improve our mental and physical well-being, we really pay attention to the other aspects such as spiritual, financial, and occupational well-being. Even most employee wellness programs today only tend to focus on addressing the former two aspects and implement ways to improve them. However, it is crucial to understand that overall wellness is a multifaceted and has many interconnected dimensions. And any change in one aspect of wellness can have a ripple effect on all the others, be it good or bad. Thus, we need to make sure that all the aspects of wellness are looked after correctly to achieve overall wellness. So to understand and achieve overall wellness within a company, we must first know all of its interconnected dimensions. All in all, there are 8 dimensions of wellness that we are going to focus on today. Those are physical, mental, intellectual, spiritual, social, financial, and cultural. Now, there is another dimension that I'm not going to focus on today, and that is the environmental dimension. In short, environmental wellness is having good health by occupying pleasant, stimulating environments that support well-being. It promotes interaction with nature and also creating an enjoyable personal environment, both in and out of your workspace. But let's move on to the 8 dimensions that we are going to cover today. So the first dimension is the physical dimension. Now, you probably understand this dimension, but let's look at it anyway. So being physically healthy or well is about taking proper care of our bodies so that we can function optimally. Physically fit people are generally perceived as being healthier people who are not, and such people make healthier decisions regularly. Physical wellness consists of practicing physical exercise, proper nutrition, getting adequate sleep, and taking part in preventative health screenings. But the other part of physical well-being that few companies focus on is physical safety. Now, according to a paper published in Frontiers of Psychology, a workplace's built environment can have a detrimental or beneficial effect on employees' cognitive ability. This research suggests that businesses might benefit from consulting with architects, interior decorators, and even psychologists to design optimal work-friendly spaces. A building can positively affect your ability by providing comfortable ambient conditions, enabling individual control and adjustment of conditions, and by reducing health and safety risks. Things as basic as temperature control, access to daylight, noise control, ergonomics, indoor air quality, secure entry, and sometimes even color choices are key factors in meeting employees' most basic physical safety needs, all of which are critical to your overall well-being. Now, I recently had a discussion with someone that resigned from a company due to the following reason. The company basically renovated their offices, and instead of having desks that face towards windows or other employees, the company fixed the desks against the wall so that the employees will face walls when working. The company made this change to help employees focus on work and not be distracted, but instead it had a negative effect as employees felt punished, and this in turn demotivated them. Another example of this is having an outside section for smokers but not one for non-smoking individuals. So your physical safety wellness is a part of physical wellness. Next, we are going to look at the mental dimension, also known to some of us as the emotional dimension. Now, mental or emotional wellness is about the ability to identify, express, and manage our emotions and feelings to cope effectively with life. It is the ability to properly acknowledge and channel our feelings and deal with stress and anxiety. Mental wellness is achieved by practicing cognitive behavioral skills and mindfulness techniques. Now, emotional balance can be just as important as physical well-being when maintaining healthy and engaged workforces. Studies have found that well-adjusted individuals are 20% more likely to be part of thriving teams. However, depression is one of the world's more common medical conditions. The World Health Organization estimates that depression and anxiety costs the global economy $1 trillion per year in lost productivity. But the World Health Organization also found that for every dollar spent on treating these common health concerns, mental health concerns, there's a return of $4 in improved health and productivity. Now, the potential benefits of supporting employee mental health include increased productivity. Research shows that nearly 86% of employees treated for depression report improved work performance, and in some studies, treatment of depression has been shown to reduce absenteeism and presenteeism by 40 to 60%. The other beneficial benefit is increased retention. In a 2019 survey of more than 1,500 employees nationwide, more than a third of the respondents said that they had left a job due to, at least in part, to mental health. Of these, 59% said mental health was the primary reason for them leaving their positions. It is important to note here that it is not only an employee's personal life that can cause the mental and emotional health of an employee to decline. If an employee works long hours, have unrealistic expectations from managers, feel undervalued, experience social isolation at work, or have an unhealthy work environment, this can not only contribute to their mental health issues, but many times it can be the cause of it. Now let's look at intellectual wellness. Intellectual wellness is about having a flexible mind and being willing to engage in lifelong learning. It's about seeking knowledge and partaking in mental activities to improve existing skill sets, foster critical thinking, and heighten global awareness. Being intellectually healthy is essential for keeping our brains healthy and preventing age-related cognitive decline. Typically, people think of intellectual health as academic knowledge, but in fact it also entails creativity, general knowledge, and common sense. You need to let your employees feel that they are constantly learning new things and allow them to share their talents through coaching and mentoring assignments. Delegate decisions and support their creative efforts through positive feedback and creative compensation. Ask for creative thinking and listen to the feedback they give you. You need to recognize that building and maintaining a highly productive and engaged team is quite different from creating and maintaining an innovative solution. Remember that employees are people first and not just another technical solution component. Okay, the next dimension is the spiritual dimension. Now, spiritual wellness is the ability to find a greater sense of purpose in our actions and establish peace in our lives. It's about being guided by a firm set of beliefs, values, and principles that bring purpose and meaning to our lives. Spiritual wellness and mental wellness are interrelated and directly impact one another. Spiritual wellness is distinct from psychological wellness. Mental health centers around an individual's stress, anxiety, emotions, thoughts, and feelings. While spiritual wellness can incorporate some of those same characteristics, it centers more around the values and beliefs that somebody holds. Now, creating a company culture that advocates for spiritual wellness help prevent legal issues before they occur, such as an employee believing that their religious beliefs prevented a well-deserved promotion. Now, while legal consequences may be a reason enough to implement policies and initiatives to encourage spiritual wellness, another important fact to consider is the performance of an employee. When employees have the energy and time to focus on what is important to them, they are more focused at work and more willing to give 100% in the workplace. Creating an inclusive culture increases retention rates. Employees stay in their positions because they know that your business is a place where they can truly be themselves and have a good work-life balance. Employees that feel their differences do not ostracize them from the group, but rather help them to bring unique talents, skills, and life experiences to the company. When you invest in your employees, they will invest in you. Okay, so social wellness is the next dimension we are going to look at. Social wellness is about building and developing a sense of connection with friends, families, and co-workers who act as a support system and share a common purpose. It's about relating to the feelings of others and building relationships based on trust and mutual respect. Social connections can help combat stress and depression to facilitate a healthy life. Now, interpersonal relationships can also impact overall well-being, with recent studies linking loneliness to a lower quality of physical and emotional health. In fact, among those who have experienced incivility at work, 80% reported a loss in productivity, and 25% then took out their frustration on customers. Connecting with other people and the work a company does can have a positive effect on an employee's productivity and drive. Keeping employees connected in person and via technology can help foster relationships, as can a culture that helps achieve social well-being. Every person requires some level of positive human interaction with co-workers and others to be satisfied and productive. For you, this means providing a positive team culture, being a role model for good communication, and creating a support network of colleagues. This translates to better motivation, productivity, and collaboration. Unfortunately, though, workplaces sometimes have characteristics that make it harder to build relationships and provide support. Consider, for example, practices that foster internal competition, such as forced curve ranking, which reduces collaboration and teamwork. Anything that pits people against one another weakens the social ties among employees and reduces the social support that produces healthier workplaces. Equally destructive are transactional workplace approaches in which people are seen as factors of production and where the emphasis is on trading money for work, without much emotional connection between people and their place of work. Now, the next and one of the most important dimensions in South Africa is the financial dimension. In a recent survey conducted by the Financial Services Conduct Authority in 2020, only 27% of people polled were satisfied with their financial conditions. Only 6% were extremely satisfied. Now, increasing number of South Africans struggle to pay their bills. In the lower income group, 70% of people couldn't cover all their monthly expenses. Overall, almost half the adult population, 46%, said that they'd run into a situation where their income did not cover all their living expenses in the past 12 months. You can see here on the graphs on the screen that in South Africa, only 39% of people, or 39% found it difficult to basically pay their monthly expenses with their salaries. Okay. I also had a recent discussion with Johan Brandt from Credit Legal Pro. Now, Credit Legal Pro is a debt management company that assists individuals to become debt-free. He told me that they receive more than 2,000 inquiries per month from over-indebted individuals that require assistance with managing their debt. And this is just one company assisting individuals with their debt. There are hundreds more. He also said that one of the biggest problems is that individuals do not have a budget, and even if they assist and get them out of debt, the sad reality is that in a year or two down the line, they will contact them again for assistance. And this cycle will just continue for the rest of their lives because they don't know how to budget and they don't have a monthly budget. Now, the acceptance and awareness of one's current economic state can be termed financial wellness. Financial well-being requires proper analysis and planning of current and future finances. It includes setting short and long-term financial goals to achieve realistic goals and become financially successful. From housing debt to education spending, financial challenges can cause stress for many people. And this financial stress can impact your health, happiness, and performance. Aside from the emotional toll, financial burdens can lead to inadequate retirement planning and can lead people to stay employed long past their peak productivity. A study by Willis Towers Watson found that organizations that addresses financial well-being can reap the competitive advantage of higher employee engagement, fewer absences, and greater levels of productivity. In fact, according to workforce.com, employees welcome their employers' involvement in helping them improve the state of their current and future financial fitness. Just remember that although employees welcome their employers' involvement, many of them will not ask for the company's involvement on their own. Employee financial wellness focuses on engaging employees throughout their lives with a focus on guiding employees towards action. The objective here is to help employees reach their goals for every stage of their financial lives, whether it is saving for a house, a car, college, or even retirement. Next, we are going to look at occupational wellness. Now, it is about being satisfied with our jobs and career paths and finding fulfillment in other aspects of our lives. It is about being involved in work that provides satisfaction and is aligned with our values and goals in life. Occupational wellness requires being involved in work activities that allow for the demonstration of our skills and pursuing opportunities to reach greater heights professionally. You as a business leader can greatly influence this factor by providing the resources and training to allow members to do their job better and appreciate the impact of their work. They also need to feel the rewards of doing the job well, including positive customer feedback and career advancement opportunities. I recently had a discussion with a friend of mine where they had a new position open up within the company, and that person has the skills to fill that position, but the position was never advertised internally and only externally, which left him feeling negative and demotivated because he cannot grow within the company. That's just one example. The last dimension that we're going to look at is the cultural dimension. Now, cultural wellness is the ability to understand and respect our cultural background and the cultural backgrounds of other people as well. It's about acknowledging and appreciating diversity and respecting all people, irrespective of their religion, gender, race, age, sexual orientation, and so on. South Africa is one of the most diverse nations in the world. The extent to which you maintain and appreciate cultural identities is one measure of cultural wellness. Honoring all voices and experiences and believing that everyone has a seat at the table are cornerstones of cultural wellness. Your cultural wellness program should develop a sense of identity in relation to cultural awareness. Expand understanding of cultures and ideas other than one's own, with an emphasis on valuing differences. Appreciate the value, impact, and the importance of promoting diversity, inclusion, and equity. So why is it important to understand and focus on these 8 dimensions? The coronavirus pandemic has had a toll on everyone, and I believe everybody is probably very tired of speaking about the coronavirus. But it affected all aspects of wellness, be it mental, physical, financial, and so forth. Even after the pandemic is over, we still require lots of time to go back to the normalcy of what we've had before in our lives. Corporate employees, for example, will have certain amount of anxiety and fear regarding commuting to work, using public transport, and working with other people in confined spaces. Also, many people have lost their jobs due to the pandemic and are suffering from stress, depression, and anxiety. Such factors have greatly affected the health of corporate employees, and it is the responsibility of employees to do something about it. Employee wellness is one of the main concerns for organizations, as it plays a direct role in productivity and output. To address and improve employee wellness, employers should introduce corporate wellness programs that enable employees to adopt healthy habits and live healthy lifestyles, not only physically but mentally, socially, financially, and all the other dimensions that we've discussed. However, it is essential to note that most employee wellness programs are usually centered around activities that improve the physical and mental well-being, and not the other dimensions of overall wellness. Creating a robust wellness program that focuses on all the dimensions of wellness can help organizations create a workforce that is not only healthy physically or mentally, but healthy in all other aspects as well. By addressing all the dimensions of wellness, employers will be able to make sure that their employees go back to their optimal efficiency in the shortest time possible. Moreover, by doing so, they will be better able to prepare their employees for any other obstacles that may arise in the future. Now, one thing I want to add in here is that having a great, robust wellness program is essential, but another mistake that companies and organizations make is that they have this program, but it is the employee's decision to take part in the program or not. A lot of times employees will not take part of the program, if it's for a specific reason, like for example, if they have mental issues or financial problems, because they still have that, they're scared and feel vulnerable that other people in the company might become aware of their financial issues or mental issues. So this is something that you can really, when you implement a wellness program, is to maybe make it compulsory for employees to take part in certain things within each and every dimension, so that if an employee does struggle financially, they won't feel scared or uncomfortable approaching HR or whoever they need to approach to discuss that they have financial issues. So it's better to open that door from your side and maybe make it a compulsory session where people can feel comfortable or get that help without anybody else in the company noticing. Okay, so let us look at ways employers can address the 8 dimensions of wellness in the workplace. Now, the need for employers to properly understand and improve employee wellness is going to be a growing concern now and in the future. Therefore, employers need first to understand all the different aspects and adopt methods to address them accordingly. The ways I'm going to share with you today will include some of the courses that we have available that you can include in your wellness plan. Okay, so the first one is physical well-being. Now, for physical well-being, you can introduce office fitness challenges among your workforce to keep them engaged and healthy. Just keep in mind that when arranging these challenges, that not all employees will have the same fitness level, and that might have some employees feel vulnerable or emotional. So make sure that these physical challenges or fitness challenges that you arrange, that they are on a level that each employee can basically take part in. Okay. Then encourage regular exercise and physical activities such as walking and climbing the stairs. As an example, here I worked for a company years ago where they had a contest. They called it the Biggest Loser, but it was for everybody to join, and it was not only for the person that lost the most weight, it was also for the person that became the fittest. And as a work group, every day they would climb the stairs together. They would arrive at work at the same time, climb the stairs together, took part in activities, and had a real support system for getting that exercise and physical activity. And a lot of people do not have that support system. So to incorporate something like that at work is great. Then one that I think a lot of us are tired about hearing about is properly sanitize your workplace and use disinfectants, sanitizers, and personal protective equipment to promote proper hygiene among employees. Now, even though this is more related to COVID, it is very important for people to have a proper clean workplace. A lot of people are still worried about COVID, but also it helps with the spreading of normal illnesses like the flu, stomach bugs, things like that within the office when somebody goes to the office with an illness like that. So to make sure that everybody within the office is hygienic and clean and that they keep their workspaces clean is a great thing to promote in the offices. Then promote the benefits of proper nutrition and encourage healthy eating habits among your employees. You can provide healthy snacks and lunches to them as well. Now, the courses that we recommend for physical well-being is, and I will discuss these courses a little bit later, or the course a little bit later within the session, is the Keep Savvy Health module. Now, if you are struggling with general hygiene of employees, I can also recommend here that we've got a course that we call the CCPT course, and that course focuses on modules like protecting yourself and others and keeping your workspace clean. So that is a course that we can perhaps assist with there. Then mental well-being. Educate your employees on effective stress management techniques and encourage them to practice mindfulness. Conduct mental health workshops and training sessions within your workplace. Conduct on-site yoga or meditation sessions. Use your wellness program to push daily or weekly motivational and inspirational quotes to your employees. This can be a great program to implement where employees can perhaps submit their own inspirational quote or a little story that they want to share. A company that I worked for also a long time ago, they had a jar that they called a motivational jar with just normal pad and paper, and every time somebody had something, a breakthrough in life or that exciting story that they wanted to share or anything like that, or a motivational quote for the day, anything like that, they would write it on the piece of paper and fold it up and put it into the jar. And at the end of the year, at their year-end function, they would basically take these notes and read through them and basically celebrate all the breakthroughs and stories, whether it's a motivational story or inspirational quote that was shared that day that really helped somebody, or any breakthroughs. They would share that during their year-end function. And I think that was a great thing to do, because it makes you feel good and it makes you think of all the breakthroughs you've had during your personal life or in your work life that year. Then also another thing that you can do here is invite a psychologist to provide counseling service to your employees suffering from stress and anxiety. Now here as well, communication and discussions with your employees, and doing it in a way that you don't single out an employee, but if you see that one of your employees or a couple of your employees are struggling with stress and anxiety and things like that, is to maybe have a psychologist do a group sessions within the company to help people with stress and anxiety. Talk to your employees or instruct your HR department to do so weekly to find out symptoms of stress or depression. If you don't have somebody in your company that knows how to identify stress and depression and anxiety, it would be good for you to perhaps send somebody or have somebody trained in that can identify things like that within your company. Now the course we recommend here is the Keep Savvy Health chapter course. Intellectual well-being. So in intellectual well-being, you need to encourage your employees to read books to expand their knowledge on various topics. Create a workplace library consisting of books, research articles, and more, providing easy access to valuable information. Conduct brainstorming sessions among your employees to facilitate collaboration and team building. Such activities can help your employees innovate new ideas and learn from each other. It will also be a great way for somebody that's in a position where they don't really use all of their skills. So say, for example, you've got a team member that works in the admin facility, but they actually do have great marketing skills. If you have a brainstorming session with your whole office about a marketing campaign, you might be able to get those creativity ideas from that person and make them a part of it, and they will feel valued, and you will as well get some great skills from that person that you might not even knew that they had. Then also provide training on different topics to help your employees improve their skill sets. This, I want to basically say that a lot of companies only provide training that will assist the employee within their specific job role. What we're trying to say here with provide training on different topics is not only to spend money on something that will assist that person in their job role. It might be a general knowledge, workshop like time management or financial training or any other training that is general knowledge that might just encourage them to take part in more things, or just encouraging training. The course we recommend here, of course, is any of the Keep Savvy chapters and any other courses that we offer. Like I said, knowledge is power. Creating a culture of training employees can motivate and challenge employees, especially if an employee has a position that requires repetitive processes. That would be something like a data capturer or somebody in admin that only does administration. To give them something else to learn that's not necessarily a part of their job roles can be very motivating and can increase productiveness for them. Then the next is spiritual well-being. So the way that you can increase your spiritual well-being is to offer separate rooms where employees can meditate, pray, relax, and so forth. Create an indoor and outdoor garden in your office and encourage your employees to maintain it. Gardening can help them relax, unwind, reflect, and restore themselves. For example, a nice herb garden or a fruit and vegetable garden, something like that, where employees can actually take part of it and use the food or the gardening that they've done in their food that they cook during lunch, or take something home or something like that. Gardening is a great way to help employees to relax. Determine and set your organization's purpose for greater good of the community and make your employees aware of it. Doing so will help your employees find meaning and value in their work. Take part in charity events with your employees and help or donate to the poor and needy. Please do not only let your marketing team be a part of outreach and charity events. Make it a event that is open to all your employees, and let all of your employees have the opportunity to take part in those events, because it is really helps them with their spiritual well-being as well as with their social well-being. Now, the course we recommend here is the Keep Savvy work chapter, specifically the module that covers policies, procedures, and workplace behavior as well. Okay, so social well-being is the next one that we're going to look at. Ways is to create a specific area where your employees can unwind, socialize with each other, and have meaningful conversations. Now, here again, I want to state that if you are going to do something like that, and you must cater for all parties, smoking and non-smoking. because you don't want to just cater for smoking people and then non-smoking people don't have a place, and vice versa. Then go out for a day, out at lunch with your employees to facilitate interaction and foster relationships. In companies, don't just mix with people on your own level, if I can put it that way. So don't just, if you are a director, don't just mix and mingle with the directors, but do it on the various levels. Have sessions where you take the managers out to lunch, all the supervisors out to lunch, or something like that. But mix it and mix with everybody within the office, not just the level of where you are at. Then introduce wellness challenges among your workforce and encourage participation and teamwork. Here again, wellness challenges, don't make it a decision, make it compulsory for your employees to take part in it. Promote and encourage interaction amongst your employees to help them build new relationships. Now, the course we recommend here again is the Keep Savvy Work chapter, and here specifically the module that covers policies, procedures, and workplace behavior. Now, financial well-being, there's a lot of things that you can do here. You can invite a financial advisor to educate your employees on sound financial practices. You can encourage your employees to plan their finances, save and control their spending habits. You can provide employee discount programs to your employees as well, or provide merit-based incentives to improve employee performance. Now here I am going to focus on our Keep Savvy courses here that we have, and I'll discuss that a little bit later. I'll give you a breakdown of what that covers. But the courses that we really recommend here is the Keep Savvy Personal Finance chapter, the Investment chapter, and the Retirement chapter. Now we would recommend that you have an employee do these courses specifically before you invite a financial advisor. The reason for that being is that a financial advisor, although they will advise the employee, if the employee doesn't have a general knowledge of what is discussed with them, they can a lot of times feel overwhelmed and just trust the financial advisor to make decisions for them that does not really suit their requirements and their needs. So later on I'll take you through what these courses cover and what I mean with doing courses like this, or having your employees do courses like this will really make them benefit more from speaking with a financial advisor, because they will have the general knowledge that they need to make informed decisions. Okay, then occupational well-being. Promote good health behaviors and provide rewards and incentives to employees to maintain them. Recognize and appreciate your employees based on their performance and achievements. Provide health checkups and biometric screenings in your workplace to make sure your employees are aware of any underlying health problems and ensure optimal health. Make your employees aware of and involve them in important work-related decisions. Provide flexible policies to your employees, such as remote working, flexible work hours, paid leave, etc. Yeah, I also want to mention that communication between a manager and the team that works under them is very important. Just to have those catch-up sessions between them and the employee or HR to find out if that person is really happy in the role that they are, if there is perhaps skills that they have that you can utilize within the company that will make them feel more valued. Those communication sessions and sessions with employees can really add value not only to them but to the company as well. For example, you might have somebody that has marketing experience and has a lot of marketing experience, but they could only find an admin position within your company because there wasn't a marketing position open. By having discussions and regular, meetings with that person and finding out there might be things that they will be able to do within the company to make them feel more valued or have a part in taking part of the marketing team. Okay, so the course that we recommend here again is the Keep Savvy Work chapter, the module Policies, Procedures and Workplace Behavior. So next is Cultural Wellbeing. Introduce policies that foster and facilitate diversity in the workplace. Provide diversity training to your employees to help your employees address it. Now, for the younger generation, they learn about all the different cultures in South Africa in school, but the older generation hasn't had that. So providing the training to basically about diversity and different cultures can really help employees understand each other and understand and accept instead of judging and dividing. Celebrate different holidays and festivals in your workplace and encourage your employees to take part in the festivities. You need to cater for everybody. You can't just celebrate Christmas or Ramadan. You need to celebrate all the different cultural holidays and festivals and encourage all employees to take part of it, to just at least experience it. Then encourage your employees to volunteer in activities and events that cater to the underrepresented segments of the population. Okay, now the course again that we recommend here is the Keep Savvy course, and specifically for workplace behaviors. That course covers how to behave in the workplace. Okay, so that is basically the ways that you can implement different things in your wellness programs. What I do just want to take time is to discuss the Keep Savvy course with you. And now this course we actually developed because we realized that there are so many people that do not have the necessary skills. I apologize for that noise quickly. Sorry, someone outside. That do not have the necessary skills to do basic things in life. These are things that they normally used to learn from their parents, but with parents being at work all the time, a lot of time people don't learn these things. So we call it the 7 chapters of life. The first chapter is the work chapter, and this is more for, I would suggest, for interns, if you have an internship program, or young employees if you employ a lot of people it's their first time positions. And this is that we've got a chapter or a module: CVs, resumes and interviews, acceptance letters and employment contracts, policies, procedures and workplace behavior, benefits and human resources, and entrepreneurships. Now, the real important module in this is policies, procedures and workplace behavior. Now, every company has policies and procedures, but a lot of companies, you are basically told in your employment contract that you need to make yourself aware of the policies and procedures, but not a lot of people in the company always understand what the policies and procedures are, why they are so important, and why you need to implement them. So that's a great course to basically explain to any person in the work why that is so important and why you should make sure that you know what the policies and procedures are within your company, as well as workplace behavior. That is a very important module to discuss. What is the best way to behave in an office. Then the next chapter, which is I think one of the most important chapters, is the personal finance chapter. And here we cover a module on budgeting, just how to budget. How do you create a budget? Where do you start? How do you set goals? The difference between long-term and short-term goals. And that also comes with an actual budget. So we show the person exactly how to budget, how do they clear up their debt, where do they start, and how seasonal expenses work, all of that. We also have a banking module in that chapter, and that basically discusses the different type of bank accounts that you get, how to investigate, when you are going to open an account, what are the best accounts available, how does compound interest work, all of that banking lingo that not everybody knows about. Then we've got the credit module, which covers, what is your credit score, what is good credit versus bad credit, how to maintain good credit, how easy it is to turn good credit into bad credit, how to read your credit report. Credit report is becoming more prevalent in South Africa now. Then we've got a tax module where we explain tax, how to get your tax number, how to submit your tax. Loans, the negative and the positive of loans, and we look at all the different loan types that you can get in South Africa, why, the ones that you should look out for and not really take, so that we look at. And then also buying a house and buying a car. There's a lot of things that a lot of people don't know when they buy a house, like the attorney's fees and the beetle, an electricity certificate, all those extra costs that people aren't aware of and they don't plan for, which can find them in a bind. And then also your insurance. So there we look at, really in that module, at everything that you need to know before you decide to buy a house and a car. Also how to, what to look for when you go car shopping, not just to go to one dealer, but look at multiple dealers. Then we've got the health module or chapter, which is also great for your mental and physical well-being. And here we look at health and well-being. We've got a work-life balance module, which basically explains the importance of that. Nutrition and exercise module. And here we don't just focus on it's good to eat healthy and it's good to do exercise. We look at the different types of exercise that you can get, why it's good to mix it, all of that things. Then we also have two modules in here, the first aid and the self-defense module. Now this is not a first aid course, I just want to make that clear, but it just explains to somebody how first aid can actually really help you become a more sociable and healthy and mentally healthy person, knowing that you can help somebody else. So it explains the benefits of having a first aid course or doing a first aid course. Exactly the same with self-defense. Self-defense classes is great, not only because you can defend yourself if you are ever in a situation where you need to defend yourself, but it's also great exercise. It helps with, self-awareness, with discipline. So we talk about what are the benefits of self-defense. Then we've got the marriage chapter. Now here we focus on, and that is for somebody that's going to get married in and out of community of property. We look at the marriage certificates, the different marriage certificates that you get in South Africa. We look at whether the pros and the cons of joint and separate bank accounts, to help somebody to make that decision. Are we going to have a joint bank account or separate bank accounts? And then we also look at divorce and just the different of divorce types in South Africa, etc. Then we've got the investment chapter, and here we look at everything in investment. So we look at stock, bonds, and investment funds, bank products, annuities and retirement, saving for education, alternate and complex projects, and initial coin and cryptocurrencies. And then we also look at key investment concepts. Now this course is basically going to enable that chapter. Anybody that wants to start investing, it's going to enable them to give them the general knowledge that they need, or the knowledge that they need to make informed decisions when they look at stocks or bonds or investment funds, to know the difference between the three and to make an informed decision on which one is the best for them and what they want to achieve. Then in the insurance chapter, we look at the different types of insurance. We look at car and home insurance, health and life insurance, salary and umbrella insurance, travel and pet insurance. So we look at all these different types of insurances, what the pros are, what the cons are, what things are that you need to look out for, what do you need with your car insurance, what is health insurance, what do you need, to look at your family history. If you have a family that has a lot of chronic illnesses, it's rather to look at a plan that includes your chronic. So that just looks at that. And then the last chapter is the retirement chapter, where we look at retirement investment plans available in South Africa. We look at how to build your own retirement plan, how to set up a will, and then we also look at trusts, what a trust is, how to implement a trust, how a trust works. So that is basically the course that we have. We call it the wellbeing course. It's a great course, Keep Savvy, to basically have your employees know all the general knowledge they need to know to make informed decisions within their life. Okay, so just some final words. Understanding the 8 dimensions of wellness and taking the steps to improve them can lead to your employees on a journey of overall well-being and happiness. Your employees will have a great sense of life satisfaction and also be more equipped to tackle any hardship that come their way now or in the future. Okay, I am going to just stop my share here and just open it. Is there any questions that anybody has? I see there's some questions here. Melanie asked, hi Liesel, can we run modules as standalone, and also can we take modules from different chapters and combine? So Melanie, yes, we basically offer our training in 3 different ways that we offer training. We can either arrange a workshop for you, online workshop where we can have the standalone modules or different chapters and combine them. We can provide you with online e-learning training, or we can send a trainer to your office. But yes, you can. We will just have to discuss that, but yes, we can. Each chapter can be bought separately, and when I speak about the chapters, the personal finance or the work or the health, but we can also build a course for you around the individual modules within the chapters. Nadine asked exactly the same question. Is the Keep Savvy only available in a bundle, or can we choose? So yes, again, we have it available as a bundle, or you can choose to only do some modules. But that we obviously need to discuss and set up for you, but it's not difficult to do that. Any other questions? Is there anybody else that has a question? Sandra, yes, I will send the recording through to everybody. After the session, I will send the recording through to all participants and attendees. Any other questions? You can either unmute yourself or you can type it in chat. No questions. Can you share the detailed Keep Savvy brochure? I will attach that to the email that I send through to all of you. Yes, Melanie, I will send that as an attachment. I'm not going to share the prices with you of Keep Savvy because it all depends on exactly, what you want your employees to do. Just with the Keep Savvy course is if you purchase the whole bundle, we do have it available as an e-learning course where we can give all your employees access to the training, and we can actually monitor as well, how far your employees are with the training, how many of the modules have they done. We can give you that feedback as well, and we can also provide them with certificates of completion at the end. Yes, Simone, I will share the slides with you as well. Anybody have any other questions? Okay, we don't seem to have any other questions coming in. I'm just going to give it one more second. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today, and I hope you enjoyed the session and that you found the information informative and that it will help you implement a better wellness program for your company. Thank you so much for your time. I know it's difficult with load shedding going on, so I do hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you so much. Have a great day further. Thank you. Bye-bye.